Starting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, you're using yours. Okay.
Alright, good morning everyone. My name is Mateo Edwards. Today I'll be giving a demonstrative speech on how to tie a tie. So first things first, have a roster sheet. Just if you put your name, email, phone number, age, and relationship to speaker. This just so the instructor, I bet Meg's saying that. Just so the speaker will be able to possibly contact you all, just to make sure that you are actually in the audience. So when I first learned to tie a tie, most people, when they first learn to tie a tie, it's their father will teach them how to tie a tie. For me, my father never really wore ties, so the first person who taught me how to tie a tie was my ex-father-in-law, actually, Jim Jones, who taught me how to tie a tie. But the last time I saw my father wear a tie, I actually tied it for him, so that was pretty cool. I'd like to go over the history of ties real quick. So I have a little handout right here of a Croatian mercenary from the 1700s. So if you wouldn't mind just passing that along. So most historians agree that the necktie originated in the 17th century during the 30-year War in France. King Louis XIII hired Croatian mercenaries who wore a red piece of cloth around their necks as part of their uniform. To honor these soldiers, he named the piece of clothing La Cravate, which remains the name for necktie in French to this day. So, several different types of neckties. One that's really popular back where I grew up is the bolo tie. Okay, and then there's also bow ties as you wear for a tuxedo. So right here I have two examples of a bolo tie and a tuxedo bow tie, if you will. And then here's some other old school ties, kind of like. When I see those, I picture like how cowboys used to wear back in the day. But without further ado, let's go over how to tie a tie. So right here you have your standard necktie, okay? So there are several different knots. Two knots that I'm most familiar with are the Windsor and the double Windsor knot, okay? So first thing I'll do is I will show the single Windsor knot, okay? So you have your long end, you have your short end. I go about 3 or 4 buttons down. So you cross the long end over, come up through the left, and then you're going to go around, back up, and through. So that right there would be your single Windsor. Alright. Whenever I tie it, it's a little lopsided, so that's why I prefer to do the double Windsor. So we'll do the double Windsor now. Alright. So I'm going to go over, come up and around on the left hand side. And you're going to do the exact same thing on the right hand side. It kind of creates what I would call the meat of the knot, okay? And you're going to go over, and that's what people are going to see outside. Come up, and then down and through, okay? So that right there is the double Windsor, okay? So, in conclusion, we went over a brief history of ties, several different kinds of ties, and then we went over, demonstrated how to do a single Windsor and a double Windsor knot. So, this concludes my speech.